Okie dokie, okie dokie. That's not going to last. I'm going to put that up here. Big cup of coffee. Ha ha ha. Alright, let's get you guys so I can see the chat on my YouTube. A little something, something. Nope. Alright, so me view my channel. Fly tying and stuff. I'm going to tie more flies because why not? We got to get better at this. Alright, there we are. There we are. Alright, now we got, can I see good? Pull this out a little bit. Gotta look at the gap. Alright, that looks good. Alright. So, let's see. Can you see me okay? Can you see that? Probably increase it a little bit. I don't know. Alright. We need this hook. We need this beads. I got thicker gold wire instead of using this skinny stuff. I want that gold wire to look good. We're going to make woolly boogers. That's what we're going to make. So we're going to grab a bead or a hook, then a bead. There's my hook. Got the instructions up there. Very important. And we're going to really try to make a good woolly bugger. And there's a woolly bugger. That's it. It sort of has a big tail to it. Although some woolly buggers, the tails do vary. Curved down, skinnier, thicker. So I've got a bead. Got a hook. I'm gonna put the bead on the little hole towards the eye, so it said. So you put the hook in the little hole. I really need better glasses. Okay, so we just slide that in. So that right there is that. And we'll put that in the vise. Right, like that. Adjust my vise to where it'll lock down. Okay. All right, good. Now we're going to take, according to the instructions, you got to, put weight on the hook with this lead-free stuff. I found out a good way of doing it. So I basically, because it always just like, well, it's like soldering rod. Lead-free soldering rod is what this is, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to put it through the bead, and then I'm going to put it through the eye. And why? Because I need it to anchor. while I wrap it. And then I'll pull it out of the eye and cut it off. Just like that. Now, it won't wrap. Won't spin. And I can wrap it without a problem. What? So, however, first time I did this, it just kept spinning and I had a really hard time holding it. To keep it from spinning. I have seen, this is a very affordable vise. 35 bucks. It's a nice vise for 35 bucks. I would recommend it, but I do understand a more expensive vise, why people spend so much money, even up to $1,000 for a vise. So we're just going to put this on here like this. And what this does, this wire, basically, you're not going to see it, but that is added weight to the fly, is what we just did there. Now, I have some black thread on the bobbin already. We're going to use that next. And we're going to start it down here and sort of wrap that all the way up on top of that. So we're just going to do that. Kind of want to wrap it around this guy without tangling up. There we go. This is where a little holder would be really good. I'm just going to snip this off a little bit. On the tag end. And we're just going to wind this baby up. Each one of those. And then I got my hand on the bobbin a little bit in order to keep it tight. I find that the bobbin likes to spin all on its own. And I don't like that. I like a little more control on my hand here. Just going to put that on there. I'm going to continue like that. Alright, now, alright, I've got my instructions, which I know what it says, so I'm just looking at pictures right now. So now we're going to take our feather, taking our feather, they don't label these. I wish they did. But after a few, I figured it out. So, got some really nice feathers right here. So you're just going to basically look at them and figure out which one you want to go with. Which one's got a better shape to it. You know, I kind of like the way this sort of dips down. So we could just put that on there like that. And sort of let it dip down, you know, let it curve with that. So that'll be pretty cool. I'm looking. We're just going to put that just like that. We're just going to wrap that around. Don't want it to capture it too much and move it too much. I want that feather to stay right like that. So we're going to run this up and cut it off about the size of the shank. Just like that. And now, holding on to my bobber and my thread, and we're just going to run this straight up and wrap it. That's what we're doing. So we're holding that tail. Ouch. No blood. If there's no blood, you're not fishing. Alright? Well, technically, we're not fishing. Alright, so we got this nice feather right there. So now, we're going to grab some of my gold wire. It's thicker gold wire than the one that came with the kit, by the way. And we're going to tie this on. Tying this on now. And then we'll do the chenille. Tie that on right up to the head. And now, the chenille. Pretty sure that's how you say it. Chenille. Chenille, chenille. We'll use that next. So put that there. Chenille, you take about 3 or 4 inches off of this. Looks like a caterpillar. And yeah, so far so good. So we'll put that on here. We'll go a little past the head. We can always trim it, right? We can always trim it. I'm just going to wrap this all the way down. Just like that. So, trim this. You hear a lot of trimming, as you're going to see. So, we have to get this back up to the top. Okay, so now, let that hang. We're going to take the chenille, we're going to wrap it around the shank, nice and tight. way. Keep poking myself. Oh, look what I did. Gotta be careful of that. I'll have to fix that in a second. Alright, there we go. Pull that up and wrap that. Okay, so. Alright, so we got that. Don't forget to hit the like button. Native. Hi. Alright, so now that we got that, now we're going to take that wire. Let me think. No, not yet. Tie in the hackle feather. Oh, we got to do the hackle feather next. So, it was the hackle feather. Yeah, and that's the hackle feather. What do I do with my hackle feather? There it is. So. Tie in the hackle. They really don't tell you how to do that. They really don't. So basically, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just, you're going to wrap it is what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do, I think. Just wrap it. I'm going to do a lot of trimming, of course. So I'm going to take this hackle feather. And I'm just going to wrap it like that. Without getting your fingers stuck. Hackle feather. That's a hackle feather. It's on there now. It's fluffy. Alright, so, and now we're going to tie this off. And take this funny looking device, whip finisher it's called. I think you gotta do it that way. That one. Still very raw with this thing. You gotta grab it, wrap it. I'm doing it too early though. So we're going to wrap this back up. Now do it. Wrap it, wrap it, lay that down. I have the hardest time with this tool. There's got to be an easier one to go with. So you do that, and then you got to sort of twist it to create that upside down 4, just like that. You go around. And around. I think I'm coming off of it. Around. Around. Just pull. Take it out. And that ties it. It's called a whip finisher. Alright, so that's on there now. Now we're going to take this big thick wire I put on there. And we're just going to create a nice spiral down. Like that. Now, I did fill that eye up with, so we're going to do a lot of trimming here. I'm getting underneath of it. I did this on purpose, knowing I could do it later, but I probably should have done it a little earlier. This is where you really need good eyes. Might have found a use for these forceps. Oh yeah, there's my hole. There's my eye. Good, good, good. All right, good, good, good. Take these super sharp scissors. Hey, Tim. So that's and give it a haircut. It tends to grow on you too while you're doing this. I don't know how it does it, but it does it. We're just going to trim it a little bit here and there. And that, so much, it's getting better. This is my number 4. So this is number 4. It actually looks a lot better. Look at that. Looks like you're diving into it. I am. Well, you know what? Look at these. This is how good you can get. Look at these. These are stunning. Look at those. That's how good you can. It's like a completely different art form. And they're just, with feathers, it's just stunningly beautiful. And, you know, you keep those there as inspiration. And a woolly bugger is a very common all-purpose fly. You can catch bass with it, panfish, trout with this thing, and it's looking like I'm getting better at it. I got this kit, you know, it's just, but look at those feathers. I mean, I've got more feathers coming today, and I got this fantastic book. This book, basically, you can pick, I should mark that page. of all the different, oh yeah, here. The fly directory. Well, we'll dog ear this because, you know, I could do that. It's my book. It's called Fly Fishing, Fly Tying for Beginners. Part of any how is when you dive into the world. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. But look at all this. I mean, you can actually pick a fly. It's got all these flies in it. So basically, let's say the Dave's Hopper, this one. And it's pretty cool. It looks like a... this one's cool. This one's got eyes. Viva Booby. It's a Viva Booby. So I go to that page, page 198. Right there. This is a Viva Booby. And it gives you, if it's a dry fly or a wet fly, this is your shopping list. This is what you need to make this fly. It tells you what fish it's good for, which is rainbow trout and brown trout, which is really common. It's pretty much all these. I mean, some bass, some panfish, like this one. But then it breaks down, you know, the fly. Then step by step with pictures. It shows you how to make it. So really a fantastic book. You need foam, you know, dowel foam. This for this one. You need dowel foam. Doesn't need a whole lot though. Besides the foam dowel, you know, you need the yellow. You know, fluorescent lime green chenille, marabou, fine pearl strands. You know, so it's actually it looks like a little bumblebee. Now, I would catch. You can catch a bunch of stuff. See, you got all these. Here's one called the crystal cat. It's got eyes too, right there. It's got little eyeballs. I have lots of eyes. I got lots of eyes. I got lots of beads and tons of hooks. Tons of hooks. Got a lot of hooks. Got about 1,000 hooks. Crazy, huh? Yeah, I love this book. This one looks pretty simple. It looks really good. This one's called The Peeping Caddis. The Peeping Caddis. That's what that one looks really good. Brown partridge hair, which I happen to have. Gold wire, which I happen to have. Cream sparkle yarn. I don't have that. Hare's fur. No. You know, I have a buddy that raises rabbits. I bet you I can get some fur from him. I can get some fur from him. They raise a ton of rabbits for butchering here locally. But yeah, I made this this fly tying bench too, and then I bought some dead guy's fly fishing stuff, and I went to Cook Woods here in town, who sells exotic woods, and I got this beautiful piece of redwood. And made this bench, this little workstation. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I traveled to Oakland to see the last A's game in the Coliseum. Very emotional, sad. I've missed it for the world. Yeah, I went to a ton of A's games when I lived in Modesto. I saw somebody removed a couple seats, but they wouldn't let him leave with it. Yeah, the A's, Oakland A's. I used to go to A's and Warriors games all the time when I lived in Modesto. And, you know, it was only an hour and a half away. So that was our local, you know, you're an A's fan when you're in Modesto. So it's just the way it is. Because, you know, they're local, kind of local. And, So yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Go to an A's game. Well, now you got to go to Vegas, right? They're going to Vegas, right? All right, going to Vegas. I'm very happy with the way this one turned out. Is that the one I just did? No, this is the one I just did. I really like. I love the that long turn down of that. I think the bigger gold wire makes it a little bit more obvious on it. I got some more stuff coming today. And, let me show you this. Oh, they're going to Sacramento? Oh, I didn't know that. So I got this. This was on an estate. This is a Daiwa Underspin 40 XD. Now, this is only about a $40 reel. So I got one of these to sell. Figured $25 to somebody. It even comes pre-spooled. But this is an ultralight reel. Would be really good for ice fishing. It's got that trigger. Oh, this would be a great ice fishing reel. Really good. And I got an ice fishing tent coming. I got 3 of these Proficiency snipers. Really, 31 inches per turn. Thing is a fantastic reel. And I love it's got star drag here instead of up on top. I love having a star drag right there so you can get it on the fly. I got 3 of these. These are $100 reels. What do you think, 60 bucks for these? I don't know. Yeah. And then, if that wasn't cool enough, probably the best spin caster on the market. Got 2 of these. These are Zebco bullets. The only drawback in this is kind of heavy. It's pretty heavy. But it is 29.6 inches per turn, which is really fast. And it's the only spin caster I've ever seen that you can move the handle one side to the other. I've never seen that on a spin caster. It's always right-handed. Maybe left, rarely. But this is a fantastic reel. Really nice reel for righties or lefties. And this is the 30, the Zebco Bullet. There's $140 reel. What do you think, 75 bucks? I got that on Facebook Marketplace. We'll see. If not, we'll auction them off. But what a fan! I mean, that Daiwa. What a actually, all of these would make a really cool ice fishing reel. Really would. I've used spin casters for ice fishing. So, I mean, you just press the button and it drops the weight down. So it's really nice. But this one's got a trigger right here, finger trigger right on the bottom there. So, and it's switchable, right or left. So, really nifty. A little reel for 25 bucks for somebody. You know, that's a nifty little reel. Like it. Oh, I can't wait for ice. I sure hope it freezes too this year. It will. It's never done 2 years in a row, so we'll get ice this year. We had a fun derby last weekend. It was really fun derby. 100 people plus, and everybody got a prize. So everybody went home with something. Really nice. I made a lot of baits. My doctor's checking on my heart, my ticker, and it is concerning lately. So they're checking on it. I had to wear a heart monitor for a couple weeks, and so we'll see what that says. It buzzed a lot, so I probably did have some irregularities, but we'll see. I mean, I've got an aneurysm on my ascending aorta. It's getting pretty big, and probably next year we'll fix it with some surgery. but it's no big deal. I've had heart operations, plenty. 3, that's plenty. So it'll go real smooth. So I'm sure it will. The operations always go smooth. It's the recovery I always have a problem with. Usually that's when I go on life support. But in my 60s, now I'm in my 60s. I'm so old. And so now, in my 60s, I've sworn off life support. So I ain't gonna get to that point. Sworn it off. Did it, done it, don't like it. In my 50s. We'll see what the thing says. So, I love coffee. But this thing, this guy that I bought his stuff, I got some of his flies in with the auction. But that is, God, that's beautiful. It's just an absolutely stunning. Not only is it well tied, we're still kicking. But look at how he wraps the shank too. It's beautiful. That red and gold on that really is very, 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 very pretty. That is gorgeous. This is how good I want to get, And, to be honest, a person who, this guy, he did it because he loved it. Not because he can make money off of it. Because you can buy flies for $1.50. So you're never going to make money off of this. I can't imagine. Unless you, I guess, you do something this good. I'd pay $20 for that fly. But I'm an idiot. I don't know what it's worth. But it's a beautiful. I would do it just to frame it, not to use it. These are gorgeous. Okay, buddy. Take care. Hey, Terry. No, I still have them. I still have my reports and stuff on the Klamath River Station. I'm doing that, Neil. I'm still doing it. They should have last night's show, I haven't posted it on the channel here, is all on reels, on the basically 3 different reels, which is the spinning reel, baitcaster, spin casters, is what last night's show was on. And then last week I had a fishing report every 4 hours, 6:30, 10:30, 2:30, 6:30, etc. Every 4 hours, starting at 6:30 in the morning. And then the reporting updates. Well, water's cold. The crazy thing is right now, because a lot of lakes are the thermoclines disappeared, so much natural food in there, the big fish are feeding off of each other. And so the at Lake of the Woods, the spawn, pre-spawn has already started for the kokanee. So what that means is that the kokanee are really high. You'll see them jumping out of the water. In the next 2 weeks, they'll be up on the main ramp spawning. Now, whenever salmon spawn, go into their spawn, they starve themselves to death. They spawn, they die. But the nice thing about, the spawn is it brings big fish up. So those big German browns are like 30 inches, all right? They come up and they start hitting it. So what you do is you need a big giant, this is one of my first ones, but you get a big giant swim bait and you catch those big giant browns. And you can catch them in the shallows. Best time to catch them? Sun up, sundown. Best time. But nice thing is, as these, the next 2 weeks are going to be coming into the ramp, those browns will be coming up. And also, right on the drop off, you're going to get some of those big largemouth bass, because when they're going to come up from the deep, they're going to hit some of these spawning salmon and then go back down. You know, the pre-spawn salmon. They're going to come up, hit them, eat them, and go back down. Great time to use a. In fact, I have some. I haven't painted them yet. I just poured them. Here they are. I just poured them. I didn't paint them yet. So basically, this is your bait. So I poured this in this beautiful red with beautiful metallic red flake in it. It's really, 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 really pretty. So what I'll do is I take a dark green and I paint the head, the back, and a little bit of the tail. And this makes it look like a spawning coke. Put an 8/0 hook in this thing. It's got a nice belly cut right there for the hook to punch out up here. And you troll this thing. And you're going to troll it right down the middle of Rainbow Bay there. And like I said, the best time to catch a big brown is going to be, you know, sun up, sundown. You know, right there, right in those two areas. Beginning of the day, end of the day. You know, in the dark, you're going to start in the dark, go about 2 hours after sunup, and then about an hour before sundown, an hour into the dark. Beautiful thing about Lake of the Woods, you can fish at night. So make sure that you're properly lit on your boat. And you're going to use this. It's what you're going to use. You're going to use this. This is a beautiful bait. And I'm going to paint it. You know, so I'll hand paint this. And use something like this that looks like a spawning coke. That's for the browns, you're going to be trolling the shallows. But if you want to catch a largemouth, you're going to go onto the drop-off, just beyond the buoys. You're going to drop this thing down and just let it sink, 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 sink to about 35 feet. You know, right in there. And you're going to run this thing up the drop-off. Bring it back over, drop it, and run it up the drop-off. And that's what you're going to do in order to catch a big largemouth, you know. Spam call. And I love Maddie and Tay's Shut Up and Fish song. Look it up. It's a fun song. Cute little video. And but yeah, this is it, man. This is what you do. You can. Marble Mountain Ranch is giving reports on the Lower Klamath. Oh, really? On Lower Klamath? Never fished the Lower Klamath. It's marshland, ain't it? It's more for wildlife. It's the wetlands. But the Upper Klamath is hitting really good. Again, this time of year, big baits work really, really good. I would go Upper Klamath, Rocky Point, down to Comfort Point. Okay, there's a trench right there. Always got a lot of big trout in it. Always. You can be on your kayak and look down and see 50 of these 8 to 10 pounders below you. Use a big like Rapala, because they're really eating right now. The Williamson's still fishable. So I would work the Williamsons for the red banded and rainbow trout. That's working really, really well. Use a spinner on the Williamsons, really light. Williamson's is a very good river to fish right now. And so is the Woods. But I love the Williamsons. Just bigger fish, I think. Howard's Prairie and is not hitting really well right now, but I would probably, if I did, I would probably use a Ned rig over there and work a Ned, because as the cold water hits, you really have to be more patient, especially for the warm water fishes, and because they're going to become more lethargic. And Immigrants is always going to be a good lake, and that's a really good lake. Get over to Ashland, a great bass lake, but my favorite crappie lake, hands down. favorite crappie lake. And it's still warmer over there, so that lake's going to turn late. So still warmer water there. Where up at the higher elevation lakes, they're going to be much cooler. Lost Lake and Willow Lake are doing very well, but more in the trout and panfish area than they are in bass. It's really slowed down. The Gerber, really good for pan fishing right now. Pumpkin seed sunfish or the crappie, or even perch. If you want yellow perches, they have big yellow perch in that lake. Willow Reservoir, also a really good spot. It's cooling down though. It is my favorite and most bass fishermen's favorite lake within a decent drive here. That lake you'll catch 3, 4, 5 pounders on a regular basis. So there's a big old giant bucket mouth in that lake. What else? What other lakes? Lost River, slowing down. So Campbell's slowing down. That's a much higher elevation lake. It's gotten cold real quick. Its bass season is good, but it's very, very short at Campbell's. Still a 2-hour drive from me, so go for that. But that's kind of, at least in this area. Diamond Lake's always going to be good for trout. Fish Lake, good for trout right now. Really good for trout right now. Throw back those tiger trouts. Illegal to keep. But Lake of the Woods, we're coming into a short season to catch your best chance to catch a big giant brown. I would suggest putting it back. Technically, you can keep them, but be a good sport. If you catch a big one, put it back so I can catch it. I'll do the same. I did the same. Caught a 27-inch, 8 to 9 pounder out there, so they get really big. And I do have some reels for sale. I think I just showed. I've got 2 Zebco bullets, 3 proficiency snipers, and a really nice ultralight reel. I really think this will be. I might, if this doesn't sell, I'm not going to be disappointed. I'll put it on one of my ice fishing rods. I really like this for ice fishing. This is a really nice reel for ice fishing. I love the release trigger right on top. So I can just put it down, release it, just like I do with my ice fishing reels. My inline reels, they also have the same trigger. And they love ice fishing. And this is a beautiful reel. I love this reel. It's a good looking reel. That'll look good on an ice fishing rod. So I just made this really nice looking fly. So I just made that. That's a good looking fly. It's my best one yet. Really nice. I got some new material coming today, so I'm looking forward to really mixing it up a little bit. But these woolly buggers, this is what I've been making, and they're progressively better and better and better on these. So they're getting better and better and better, and that's basically, it's what they tell you to do, is learn to tie one really well, and then go to the next one and the next one. So I've tied 4 of these, and that's definitely my best one. I actually went with a bigger gold wire on it. I think that's why it looks so much better. But the tail, I sort of really wanted that long downturn feather portion, and then I came down the shank a little bit, almost into the curve, and I think it turned out really well. That's my best one yet. Which you would hope you're making progress, is what you're doing. And, but I like that. I like that one a lot more. And it's heavier than the others. I weighted this one, put more lead wire on it. So, woolly buggers are a wet fly, so they're going to drop. And so this one actually, it's up on my shelf over there. Here's my scale. See how much this weighs. Let's see how much. Here's my scale. Switch it over to grams. There you go. And off it goes. Let's see. How much does that weigh? Half a gram, 0.6 grams. That's what that weighs, 0.6 grams. In ounces, 0.02 ounces. Not much, huh? Yeah, you always go to grains. You get 8 grains out of it. So, 0.6 grams. You're not going to cast that on a bait caster, that's for sure. Nope. Not going to cast it on a bait caster. Definitely for fly fishing. So, so if you guys want, I also got, keychains. Look at that. Keychains. There's snips and a bottle opener. See, a bottle opener and snips. But everybody, this would be like the best gift to give somebody that likes fishing, or is bad at fishing, or is good at fishing. Just get it to somebody who likes the outdoors. Terrible at fishing. Those are $5, by the way. $5. I like it. $5 whole, and you get yourself a nice gift for somebody, or for yourself, whatever. Just email me, and we'll get it out to you. PayPal. So I have PayPal, so just FYI. But yeah, $5. Shipping probably $2. I don't know. Under $10 you can get a few keychains for people that you love, so, or hate. It works both ways, love and hate. So you've got a really good fishing report on this broadcast. Got a really good fishing report on this broadcast. So, and I pretty much covered the lakes too. But these, I got these. I got so much on an estate sale just recently. Yeah, here's a fly shack. 100 of these tungsten beads. Yeah, pay $16 a package for these. Not me. Although I kind of got ripped off. And yeah, I didn't pay hardly anything for all these things on the sale, the auction, but they doubled my prices on all of it for shipping. I won't buy from that company again. They ripped me off. And I called them up, and I was really upset that they were charging me so much money for shipping. It was ridiculous. So, it was ridiculous. I'm really mad at that, by the way. But I need to sell some reels, so I need to sell some reels. I've got 2, 4, 6 reels down here. I have one reel already sold. It's a pin, and then I have a fish finder coming in for that gentleman too. So we'll get. And then once that fish finder comes in, which is a beautiful Piranha Max, great fish finding. It's great for ice fishing too. Stick it on a scope and have fun. And I've got what else have I got coming in? Ice fishing tent. How cool is that? I got an ice fishing tent coming in. Oh, I got a bunch of spinner stuff because I like making inline spinners. And so I got a bunch of spinning stuff, a lot of blades. And so we're going to start making some really cool spinners. Although I've been making some pretty cool spinners. So I like my spinners. Boy, they activate at really slow speeds. So I got those coming in. And I think that's about it. And I'm going to be very busy learning this and learning how to cast my fly rod. And just, making a bunch of stuff for next year is what, basically, I got to have my spring collection going. Also I've got some, you tie these and put it on a ice fishing rod and let it go down there. I mean, not those per se. But let me see what I got. Oh, here's a 14. These are 14s. So if I tie these, sort of a nymph looking, that little thing, look at that, tiny. Use that ice fishing. I think that'll work really good for ice fishing. It's the perfect size hook. These 14s. 14s. I have, like I said, about 1,000 hooks. There's 100 in here of those 14s. And then, what else I got? That's a 10. It's kind of big. These are 6s. That's really big. 4s, super big. This one doesn't have a size, but these are really big. These are more saltwater-esque. Looks kind of rusty too. Not a very good box. This is not a very good box of hooks. In fact, I'll have to go through those and throw away a lot of those hooks. That came with the auction, and these are 6s. Those are all new. And that's I can do some really cool stuff with some of these hooks for ice fishing. You're just gonna, I can weight them down with some lead-free wire and let it just drop. These are 8s. Oh, that's perfect size. Look at that. A little bigger, but not too big. It's a really good size. These are made in Norway. Oslo, Norway. Oh, Mustad and Son. This is actually the old company. I'm sure Mustad actually makes their stuff in China now. Let me see. Oh, that's Norway. So, what is that? So hopefully you heard all of those fishing tips that I gave you, Neil. I got some of my hard baits up here. I'm gonna package these things up, and but yeah, that's a great bait. God, that's a beautiful bait. That's a gorgeous bait. Look at that. Just darken the head and tail and back. And I'm in like Flynn. This has got a pearlescence, and then that sparkle to it is just awesome. So looking forward to that in the next few weeks. So, all right. Well, let's end this. And let's see what we got here. see what we got. Anything arrive on my doorstep yet? Probably not. Nope, nothing yet. So much stuff arriving today. He'll be here in a little bit. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I know I got so much stuff in this. My office has got 3 workbenches now.